Welcome to the SWBL podcast presented by 1356 Public House. And tonight I have a litany of guests for our season preview podcast. Real quick around the horn, just to get everybody who's not watching this one and maybe just listening on Spotify. We've got Chad Young with the Rockies, Brett Spencer with the Orioles, Sam Eichenlaub from the Expos, Jimmy Stout from the Astros, Evan Quo from the A's, Spencer Bogad from the Twins, Trent Davis from the Marlins, and the newly acquired David Olderman with the White Sox. Everybody, how's everybody doing, guys? Thanks for jumping on this one with me.
Excellent.
All once, by the way.
We're good.
All good.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well,
counting down the days now.
Yeah. We're recording this on the Monday before the season, so we're 4 days away as of today. This will probably come out on Wednesday. So, we are, on the eve of the season. We've already had 2 games played officially. And so, come Friday, we're going to have, those first 5 games. And, by that point, I think everybody will have played a game. So it'll be fun to get together at 1356. Again, our presenting sponsor, for the, social event that night, and just kind of, as we dive into season 22. So first question, fellas, opening it up, open forum. What do you want to talk about?
Wiffle ball.
Okay. We can talk about wiffle ball. Anything else we should talk about? Anything related to our season or our
We
league?
should talk about the Yankees a lot because it seems appropriate.
No one's here to defend them. So
yeah. All right.
I've
got a couple.
What's the game of the? What's the player of the game beer sponsor?
Oh,
I'm curious.
That's forehands.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Plan on getting a few of those or something, Chet?
I just trying to set some goals.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about the Yankees. So they couldn't be here tonight. We know that Sam's coming in late, so they've signed Charlie. That's the first. Well, since Gus, it's the first signing they've had. So I know it's only 1 game, but what do you guys think of that signing?
I think they've done that before. I think Charlie's played not a full season, but I think he's played a filler game for Sam before, possibly. I feel like I've seen him play a couple
I thought he was on the
times.
Marlins 1 year. Is that right?
Oh, is that it?
Or am I just making that up in
No,
my
I
head?
don't think he ever played on the Marlins.
He played
ran
back
for somebody.
He
Maybe.
played back in like season 8 or 9, and I only remember that because he subbed for Edlow. Edlow had to work at Jimmy John's, couldn't get off his shift in the championship game, and then me, Paul, and Blake, we were 4-6, and we beat their team because he could make. Charlie had to sub in for Edlow, so he definitely has played before.
No pressure, Charlie. So. Yeah, you're only facing the defending champions in that game. No big deal.
I have something to say about that. So I don't remember him entering the rookie draft, and I believe there's a rule that says to sign a free agent, they have to have been a rookie or played like in the previous season. So Don't call me a conspiracy theorist here, but I think they're breaking some rules here. So and if they're not, then I think we should vote on it right now. But they are.
Okay. Yeah, we can vote. I always thought that once you weren't a rookie, you're
just in a player pool,
then you just become a free agent, and you're always a free agent. But I could be wrong.
Why do you always got to be a funky monkey, Brian? Ruining my vibe.
Just trying to keep the conversation going.
If they don't have 4, I mean, is it just an out every time Sam would be up to bat?
Yep,
I believe so.
Do we know if he signed a waiver or not? I think we should look into that too.
for sure. Yeah, he needs to sign the waiver before he can take his first at bat. So,
yeah.
Brett, you be on that one for me, okay?
I got you guys.
Sweet.
No problem.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird that the Yankees just have these players coming in and out. Like there's some drunk stepdad or something. Just is he going to be there? Is he going to not?
Is there a luxury tax or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, there should be a couple runs per game given to the opponent or something like that.
Yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah.
No, you have to be a good player to get
across
luxury.
the league, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider Charlie a luxury.
Who are the Yankees playing? Who's their first game against?
The O's.
Oh,
little championship rematch, eh?
I know
Fun
that's what
not-
Sam had planned it, kind of like, oh, all right, championship rematch, kind of start everything off with a bang, kind of thing. And I guess Gus was like, we're good to play on Friday because Sam was pretty adamant that everyone was going to play on Friday this year or preseason. And
Yeah.
that's just how it lined up here. We'll see. I don't know.
Hold on, another conspiracy theory. Very intriguing that Sam demanded every team play on
Right?
Friday, and then he schedules the Yankees without one of their starting players. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm in on that. That kind of smells.
I will say he told Gus we can move it to Monday, and Gus said no. So
he also asked the Rockies to switch some games around, and we were all about it. We were going to do whatever we needed to do to help out the league, but we haven't heard anything yet.
He asked the
Sam-
Astros to do the same thing, huh?
Sam Skibby and conspiracy theories is like an everlasting gobstopper. They just never stop.
Yeah.
It's never
We're
ending.
not a lot of franchise of the year points out here, it seems like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can tell you the Expos are playing this entire season under protest at this point.
Isn't that every year?
Yeah.
It's official now. It used to be in protest and quotation marks.
Yeah. I'm starting to think the Yankees paid like some kind of like 5-for-5 deal, like $1 for every game. They just get to choose what they want, and sounds like that's what's going on.
I don't think they're going to miss one of these again. I don't think they'll miss one of these podcasts again.
No. No.
They're definitely going to show up.
They're probably sitting there screaming when they're listening. They're screaming, "Benware, why aren't you defending us? You made a promise to me." Well, yeah. Another big thing. Let's kind of shift, Davey. Ty. It's been announced Ty will not be there for the first 2 days. What?
Wow.
Yeah. But it seems like you also greased the pig and asked Sam for a bunch of help because you guys only have 3 games before Sunday.
Yeah, it's the gauntlet on Sunday for us. We're gonna have 4 games for us. 2 divisional games, the O's, the Yankees. Yeah, pretty intense. But we got some help from Sam on the schedule. We thought he was going to be able to make it, and then they lost that game Sunday, or won that game Sunday, division rival. So pretty bummed, but we'll get the benefit of the schedule. I think we'll have Ryan. Ryan will be there Saturday morning though, so at least he'll get to bat. We were going to be just 4 on Saturday, and now we'll have him in the morning. So it's his brother's wedding.
Oh boy,
So,
really?
Yeah. So we're surprised he's still even showing up, but what a guy.
Yeah.
Wiffle
Who
ball
gets
calls.
married on wiffle ball weekend?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Well, yeah. What do you, David? What do you think about the loss of Jackson and then the addition of Ryan?
For sure.
What do you think the outlook looks like?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ask him to do?
Ryan's going to get, I think, second bat. Ryan, I think, proved over summer league that guy can really hit, and he can play the field as well. And I think he's got a knuckleball, right? Who was there for that?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so he'll get on the mound too at some point. But I think Jackson had okay year at the plate last year and kind of okay on the mound as well. But I think we can all agree he can turn it on pretty much whenever he wants, especially on a new team. So it'll be interesting to see how the Orioles utilize him. Who are they going to pick between those 3 Cy Whiffles?
Yeah. I've been curious about the innings. Yeah.
Leaving that up to Sam. Sam's kind of the delegation here. He, like we said, he just, does all the stuff. So he's kind of our pitching manager, but in terms of like Jackson, me and Sam, at this point, we'll split most of the time. I mean, we'll just kind of rotate. We talked about have a starter, have a middle inning person, have a closer, but it's kind of just feel it out. I'll give this away. I think Jackson's definitely going to start against the White Sox. That's a given. I'll pitch the first game against the Stros, and that's all I got so far.
I have a question for Brett. 2 questions. You're only as good as your worst pitcher. So who's the worst pitcher out of those 3?
Sam.
Yeah, I agree. Next question. Is there a minimum innings pitched requirement that you believe should be beaten in order to be eligible for Cy Wiffle? Do you have a minimum that you think someone should have to pitch?
I like that question, honestly. That's because you think about it. All right, so 50 innings in a season, maybe 52 if you go to extras or something. 30 innings is the max. So I would say anywhere between like 16 to maybe the minimum would be like 17 to 18 ish.
Okay.
20 seems.
Yeah, I was gonna say 18 to 20. I feels like the right number. Glad we have that on the record. So when all three of you are at like 45 innings and Peter gets like 3 innings, that none of you can win, and we'll have Chad Young repeating as our Cy Wiffle champion.
Yeah, Chad.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Guys.
If Chad throws 30 innings and we all throw 20, probably gonna have more strikeouts.
Well, all three of you can't throw 20. All three of you can't throw 20. So I think we're going to see some chemistry problems in the Orioles clubhouse because everybody's going to want the ball so bad, and you all are just going to fight. I can just see it happening now.
You know us too well. We all just want to show off and play as much as possible.
And Jackson is the one that typically starts all the fights too. He's a pretty nasty guy.
Yeah, he's a big prima donna. Like we brought him over thinking he was kind of a chill dude, and oh my god.
Yeah, no, that's why he keeps bouncing around from all these teams because it's just a cancer in the clubhouse.
Exactly. Yeah.
The commitment issues, maybe.
All right. Well, Spencer, I got a question for you. Why do you hate the Marlins?
I don't hate the Marlins. What are you talking about?
That's not what he told me.
I don't hate the Marlins. No, I truthfully don't hate any teams. I think it's fun to have someone that will like shout back at you. And I tried that with the Expos a long time ago, but they shout way louder than I do, so I kind of gave it up. So the Marlins, I remember won Team of the Year, Franchise of the Year, and then the first time we had like an out of tournament thing to go to, none of them showed up. So I was like, at that point, I was like, oh, Franchise of the Year, you guys don't even come to the meetings. Just a fun thing. Also, Luke and I have always had a fun rivalry through the years. So kind of guilt by association for the Marlins that Luke's on your team. I am Luke's daddy, as everyone knows.
It's a good rivalry. Yeah. We got the best of you guys last year, didn't we?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. How many playoff games did you guys play in?
It's a good question.
No, it's all fun. There's not a person in this league I don't like. Farthest thing from it, I think it's more fun than anything, and the Marlins are good sports about shoving it right back at me. So I think honestly that was probably the most fun game we played last year was against the Marlins because everyone was just kind of like chirping at each other and in a fun way. So it's all good.
Well, speaking of the Marlins, sort of segue here. Sam, did you know the Expos? There's an all-time record watch for the Expos going on right now. Did you know that?
Is it a good record or a bad record?
Well, it's the all-time consecutive loss record.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
And you guys could break that record in your first game against the Marlins. So, your face kind of says it all. Yeah. I mean, how you guys feeling?
We could break it, but I think we're going to kind of pick our spots, and we'll decide on Friday if that's going to be one that we're just going to go ahead and win, or if we're just going to give it to the Marlins. They need help, so that's fine.
What's the count at?
And I like Trent. Trent's a dog.
20?
It's at 20 right now. Yeah.
Who's the previous record holder?
20. Pirates.
It was probably the Pirates, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that?
1982.
2015. 2015, I think.
Yeah. You were on that. Were you on that team?
The Pirates?
You were on one of those really bad teams, the Indians.
I was on the Indians, but we went 4-6, which is not
okay. Not really
20.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Gigantes were not very good either, right?
The 2012 was the year that they were. Oh, yeah.
It was the Andy Oldenburg captain era. He had no one.
They were recognized in 2012 as the worst team in America.
So Sam,
goals, Sam, goals.
Yeah.
So, well, what I'm saying, it's 20 straight consecutive losses is what we would be hypothetically lost against. It's not like our head-to-head matchups against the Marlins where we've lost the last, 20 or 19 just against the Marlins. It's cumulative.
Total. Yep.
Yeah.
I guess it come out as what time does Jimmy get off work, or does he work Friday, and how many drinks is he going to have consumed by that game?
It's true.
He
usually texts me like Thursday at 2:00 in the afternoon. He's like, it's the weekend. And so he gets started pretty early. So it'll be like 24 hours worth of drinking before that game.
Yeah. Now I will say Jimmy has brought up by himself, like his own accord, saying, yeah, maybe I'll put myself on a beer count this year.
Mm-hmm.
and like something of that nature. And I would go, what exactly would be your beer count? And he's like, I don't know. Like, well, I'm not sure how that
400.
works. A lot.
And get a clicker for him. And
he talks about doing one per strikeout this year.
I tried pushing that. But I don't know if he went for it.
Would only make it like 15 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Saturday morning.
Is that like a day or the whole weekend?
That's probably half a day for Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Expo shotgun a lot.
Yeah, they do shotgun a lot of beers.
You could do like 5 per loss. We'll get pretty drunk then.
Well, Shantytown looks a little bit long. There's more room over there now, so it might not be a good year to have a limit. I don't know.
Plus, we've got the founder's porch he can hang out over at too, and just chill in the shade a little bit. Who knows? Who knows what other teams are going to migrate over there? Yes, sir.
Who do you got? Marlins Expos. Who you got right now? Who's winning?
Expos.
Oh,
they're not going to do it. I don't know. There's something about whenever they get their backs up against the wall, they actually play really well. And
when they get their backs up against the wall, that's when Germer starts flaring balls to right field, and Jimmy starts throwing 65 miles an hour.
Yeah. No, I don't think it has. It's nothing against the Marlins. And honestly, it'd probably be a 1-run game. Who knows? But yeah,
I will say there's a little different mindset. Last year was my rookie season, so I wasn't really involved in a lot of like decisions or anything like that. But this year is a lot more. I don't know. I feel like they're more motivated. Like everyone collectively as a group is a lot more motivated not to have a repeat of last year. And then in game 1 against the Rockies, last year, like we give up a crooked number, out in the field, and then come back in and maybe score 1 run or get goosed, and there was really no like emotion change. But this past week, don't
give it away. Don't give anything away.
No, I'm not giving anything away. There was a lot more
care.
Yes, exactly. It seemed like it mattered a little more. But again, that's me coming from an outside, and I only have last year and 1 game this year to go on, but it feels a little different than what it did last year as far as like chemistry and care level, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Sam, do you think you guys are missing more than just motivation, though?
What do you mean by that, Jimmy?
Is there anything else you think that the Expos could bring to the season to help them win? You looking at more players, or you think it's just that motivation?
I think we have plenty of players. I think it's just more kind of everyone pulling the rope at the same time is what I've been kind of preaching the whole off season and going into game 1. It's just everyone gets on the same side of the rope and pulls it, and
this is an episode of Dr. Phil. I was right at the very top. Yep. We're just solving problems now.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's just what is it? It's just intervention. Sam, when are you going to get your first win? I don't know. I'd love for it to be very, very soon.
Yeah.
Sam, what's the over-under for first win? And the time is 12 a.m. Sunday morning. So earlier or later than 12 a.m. Sunday morning. That's your over under. When's the first one?
Earlier.
I love it.
Let's look at the
Love to
schedule.
hear it.
Yeah. Pull it up for us, Chad. I know. So we play the Marlins. I think that is a winnable game. I know we're underdogs going into every game, but
and
I
then
think,
you get the
I
White
think that's
Sox.
winnable.
You got White Sox at 8 a.m. on Saturday.
Okay.
That's a good time to play them. The White Sox.
It's a good
Jimmy's
time for
sober.
us. No, Jimmy's not going to
Jimmy's
be sober. What do you
Jimmy will
mean?
be sober at 8 a.m.
And then goodness, yeah, you guys got a nice little break here.
Big break, yeah. Till like 2:30, I think.
To 2 o'clock against the Yankees. That'll be a close one.
That's dangerous. You get like 6 hours off. That's dangerous.
And then you got one game off, and then you play the O's.
Oh, that's a win.
So that'll be fun. And then
Okay.
the Marlins
And
again.
Oh,
Marlins again. Okay. Well,
so,
yeah, there's
so 2 against Marlins.
Saturday afternoon's going to be fun.
Don't they have 5
Trent,
on
do you have
Sunday?
any?
Oh no, that's the White Sox. Sorry.
Trent, who is pitching for you on Friday? Is it yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I need to get out there and practice a little bit. So
You are going to be on the bump?
Yeah, I think so.
He's
I
a tall drink of water.
I don't think I'm going to play some. I might catch the late games on Saturday, but I got to work some early on Saturday. So
Bummer. Sam, are you going to pitch this year?
You're asking me. I pitched a little bit last year. I would assume so. I don't know if I'm 2 or 3.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm 2 or 3, but I would assume I'll pitch.
Sam closed out the championship game of a Premier Football League last August, where the Melonheads became victorious. He can pitch. The Expos would make a mistake if he did not pitch.
Now, I will say I didn't close it out. I just pitched like 5 2/3, and then Jason closed it out.
Yeah, you pitched great. That's my point.
That was fast pitch, though, wasn't it?
It is.
That's all right. He can locate.
Well, but yeah, I'm comfortable pitching. Like if whatever the Expos ask me to do, like that's what I'll do. I just want to get a win, man. That's like the biggest thing. I just want to get a win.
Well, let's do it. So that means everybody on here is a pitcher except me. I don't count because I'm a host, but every guest on here is a pitcher for their team.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which I realized a little bit ago. So what do you guys think about the new speed gun rule with the 2 balls?
I think it's going to be tough with no warning.
What can we talk about the rule?
Yeah, let's talk about the rule.
Brian, I was any rule.
I was not aware until I towed the rubber the first inning against. Well, I won't spoil anything, but the other day with the Twins.
Man, well, that's a bad captain for you then, bud.
Yeah,
come on, Steve.
Which is non-existent. Yeah, well, Steve isn't much help, so we knew that going into that game. It was just kind of showing and going. But did not know.
And Evan, I believe you can spoil all you want because that game was live streamed.
Yeah, that one you can talk about.
I don't know if he wants to or not, but
yeah.
Thanks, David.
Now, if you guys have not been to the Blur yet, the cicada noise is definitely an issue.
You can hear it on the live stream.
I like it.
My Lord,
it's
very
loud.
calming.
Might not be too many wives out
flying around.
It's kind of like a sound machine at night for me at the plate. Just got the sound machine going and blocks out all the noise.
Yeah, you were sleeping at the plate. Yeah.
No, it's just peaceful. You don't hear people chirping. Yeah, exactly.
I am curious about the rule though, because I guess I'm more asking, like Spencer, Brett, that have been in the league forever. Do you think it's gonna help, or is it I guess I see the purpose in the rule, but I guess I don't see the full purpose of making it 2 balls instead of just 1. Is it just to speed it up?
A little bit. It was one of the things where we felt in the front office that like people would just toe that line because throwing it over then didn't really matter that much. It's it's an extra ball. If you throw it faster and you hit 55, great. If you throw it 56 and you get 1 ball, it's the same. It's kind of the same thing. So we just thought there needed some sort of punishment for pushing the limit.
Makes
in a
sense.
sense.
Also people, and I did this occasionally too, admittedly, I would throw a 57, 58 on purpose to set up a slower pitch. I would throw a 57, 58, like 2 pitches in a row to set up a slower pitch to like try to get someone off balance, which is kind of like, hey, it was part of the rules, but now like you can't do like you could do that, but you're going to have to be pretty accurate. So
Yeah, I didn't know
we
you were
really
very
want to
manipulative like that.
we want to make sure that people like rules 55, like it's all in the spirit of like allowing everyone to be as competitive as they can. Like we recognize that there's all sorts of different people that play in the league, and we make sure everyone's having fun and it's fair, and like, you know, so, you know, it's not really that big of a deal, but you know, if you throw under 55, you won't see any difference. If you throw it over, you'll put more people on base. That's probably what will happen.
Still 8 balls as well. Like that's a ton of like you have to throw.
Yeah, still room.
Walk people.
Yeah, if you're 0-2, you could zing one in there still.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It just makes people think to throw a little bit faster, which is
Right.
what we're trying to do in this league. More home runs, more medium pitch stuff, and not worry about the other stuff. So
Yeah, I like the new pitching rules, like with the the over 56 or sorry, over 55 being 2 balls, and then also if it goes over the backstop, you know, the runners advancing. I like them. I like the new.
Yeah, the rules
so
still
it's
in place.
more penal for pitchers. I
You
guess
gotta edit
being
that out.
good- It
Sam.
rewards good pitchers and not.
Sam, no cussing on. He said no cussing on the chat.
Yeah.
I
I think
didn't
we'll see
cuss, I
more
said shoot.
runs. More runs,
said-
more balls in play.
I said penal,
Yeah.
Instead of
penal.
P word.
I heard penis come out
No,
of your
so
mouth.
and then as the hitter, if you still hit a ball that is 56 or more and you get on base, that is still in the practice. You still have to take the positive outcome as a hitter. So, you know, that's still there to benefit the hitter in a hitter league. So yeah.
I'm surprised there was no warning. Like you don't get a warning per bat or even warning per inning.
What we saw, David, what we saw last year was games went on average about 7 minutes longer than they. Yes, we did the research. They went about 7 minutes longer than they did previously, and we were constantly behind. So one of the thoughts was like, a lot of what we had to do last year was redos. We were constantly redoing hits because they're 56. Someone get out and redo it again, and that's what we saw was. So part of the reason for doing this is like get pitchers to throw under 55, so there's less or no redos and keep the games moving along. So the other side of the coin is like, hey, if there's more balls in plays, there could be more offense, but also like there could be more outs. So we'll see how it goes. But the whole point of it is we don't want to be playing games at like 8 o'clock at night under the lights and avoid having to rearrange the schedule and that kind of stuff. So it would be nice to have a warning, but it's really a pace of play thing. So
sure.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you could see it there too. So you throw, 56, you'll know what you're throwing like immediately. And the warning system that I was in the front office back then when we had that warning system where people got thrown out of the game, which was ridiculous. But I mean, Spencer's right. That kind of is what it is at this point. We're constantly tinkering and trying to like make the games move faster and just try to fit in all these games. Sam, I'm going to give this something. Sam wants to eventually add a 10th team, which would be amazing to kind of just play round robin. Everyone plays everyone. And then you play one random opponent extra per year. So what do you guys think about that?
Awesome.
I think it should be. I think Brett, you and I have talked about this before. I think that extra random team shouldn't be random. I think it should be the one and the two face off. No, I think it should be like how the NFL does their scheduling. Like, so if you're the division winner, you play the other division winners in your conference. I think it should be. I think it should be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that way you get more parity and you play more balanced competition. On paper, that is, I guess, or from season.
Mother Goose, right there.
Mother Goose.
I like that. Yeah, that is nice.
Fergalicious.
All in favor?
Just need we just need to find time to fit in an extra team.
An extra.
Game.
If we play like 2 or 3 more early games, or if we tell people a year in advance, like, hey, on Memorial Day Friday, we're gonna start at 12. I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
because it adds
everybody
what,
take the day off.
5 games.
Something like that.
It would add 5 games, something like that. So
I like the idea. I think my favorite thing since I've been in this league, I don't know, like 8, 9 years now. Every like couple years, like 2 to 5 years, you guys add something new or different, whether it's small like a rule change or some to the field or like add another team that just keeps the league like fresh in a sense where like gets you excited again of like, hey, we got something new going on this year. Now there's 10 teams. You're not playing in division anymore. I think I love when things kind of get changed up in the league a little bit. I know some people are like, they might not like it, but it does. It just keeps it fresh, and especially with more guys coming in from like the sister league MoWIF and stuff that we've all gotten to know that play in MoWIF that are all really great guys that are getting a chance to see, what Sam and the founders created. I think it's a great idea to just keep getting more people involved.
Yeah, bring in some less seasoned guys, though, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, we started with there was no strike zone. There was no lawn chair. There was nothing. You had to swing at 3 pitches and miss 3 pitches to get out. People would sit up there for that was the very first season. Like every year there's been something different, which I mean, it happens out of necessity sometimes, but it also happens because Sam's constantly sitting there being like, well, how can we make this better for everyone else? So it worked out, and now the league is growing to this, and like what Spencer is chatting about, the pool came into play, and now the outfield bushes are a few years away from being used as a fence. So there's a lot of stuff on the horizon, and like what Chad said is the field looks great. The new stuff is kind of awesome. The right field porch and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett, has there ever been any conversation around a possible play-in game, like a game 163 or like a wild card game where there's a game at the end of maybe Sunday or Monday afternoon or something like that, and the winning team is in the playoffs and the losing team is out of the playoffs?
I don't think that's ever been bounced around. Spencer, do you remember, or Brian?
No, I mean we do have a wild card game currently where 5 plays 4 and they get in, but
you're already technically in the playoffs. It's
they're already
Yeah.
in. That's just for seeding, correct?
no,
that's the 2 wild cards play each other.
Oh, okay.
So 1, 2, and 3 are set, and 4 and 5 play each other to then
right.
go on and play 1.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome to have a world where maybe 6 teams make it, top 2 seeds get a bye. All this is great, but the enemy we have is time.
Yeah.
So we either have to make games 4 innings instead of 5, which I don't know if we want to do that, or start playing earlier on Friday, or play a couple extra games in the week leading up, like we have started to do, which I think is great. It's pretty fun. Could have easily played a couple of games last weekend, so I think it's all possible.
Could you guys ever see the league implementing the summer, or is it the summer league or the fall ball league, like the power up rules? Like, imagine you got to make the guy go up there with a wet spatula and try to hit a ball.
I doubt they ever do that in this league, just because that's some of the allure of playing in that other tournament or the other league, to have those different rules.
And I'm the only one that ever buys them, so it's not happening.
All right. Any other topics, guys, before we actually get to my agenda? But that was the main thing.
This isn't the agenda.
No, this was part of it. This was part of it. I just have some basic stuff, and
this is kind of a great postseason somewhat podcast in a sense.
Yeah, we could do a postseason review too.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see all you guys.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah,
it's the best part of the whole weekend.
It is.
Even if you don't win a game, at least you get to see everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a great time. I would just love to have a great time and also be winning as well. But that's we're going to turn it around. I'm confident that we get a few dubs.
Sam, the team you are on currently, no joke. Besides you, actually, Brett was on that team. Won a championship. It is possible. This team could win 6 games. It is possible.
Sneak into the playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boga, what stat did you give me? Like that year in 2020, the Expos have won more games just in that season than they have collectively as a franchise or something like that.
Than all their other seasons combined, I believe they won more games in that season, and that was the only season Brett played on the Expos, I think, right?
Which was 9, right? They won 9 games. They went 6 and 4, and then 3 games. So they won 9 games, and
that's half of their all-time wins.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good year.
Nobody else has ever done that.
Wow.
Wow.
That's true. All right, Benware, what do we got? Hit us.
All right. Now let's just jump into awards. The awards watch first. Sam didn't put anything out about comeback player of the year. I guess we only really have one. Is there only one candidate for that?
Who?
Vorbeck.
Oh,
Sounds like he's the winner.
Charlie Bakula, but he's only gonna play one game.
Charlie.
Sure.
I mean, if he hits like Spencer did.
Yeah.
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 If he hits like Spencer did for that team, we're all going to be really pissed off.
All right, if he hits like he goes 8 for 8 with 7 home runs, do they start him again? And who do they sit, or do they bat 5? Or actually, just who do they sit? Who would they sit?
There's only enough room in a lineup for one Bakula, so I think Sam would have to sit.
What are the odds that he goes 8 for 8? I mean,
yeah, I think something like that happens. You know, I think he just becomes the captain of the Yankees and just completely rebrands it.
Yeah.
Name the
He goes
field
8 for 8. Yeah.
All right. What about manager of the year? He didn't fill out any kind of preseason watch. Who you guys got for that?
Kevin.
Okay. Yeah, he's a previous winner. Pick 3. I need 3 candidates.
I mean, who knows, Blake? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
BK
I was going to
bringing
say
in Tony.
BK could possibly be a surprise candidate. We all know that he's the shadow manager. Brian, I think you got a chance as well. I think typically it goes to a team that like people are unsure of, like which way are they going to go this year? You know, are they going to be elite? Are they going to make the playoffs? So I don't think you're going to see it go to a team like Scott Poley, who's just won the title. But I think the Rockies, the Astros, both are 2 teams that can win the title that people are just waiting to see how things play out. So I think both of those people.
Yeah, I think that, the longer we've done this award, the more that in-season like decisions have come into play. I mean, BK and Brian won it last year for obviously the turnaround that they had, but also some of the decisions that they made. I mean, BK pulled himself out of the lineup late in the season. So I think that's always the case. I think when you manage a bigger roster, it's hard. But I also think that you can't, you could say John Light, Brown, and Jackson added, backfilled with a better player than they lost. So he should be maybe not front runner basically, but he should be in the conversation. Eli can do it too. Eli's got a big roster too to manage. So Evan, who's your candidate on that? Who if the A's were to win it, who would be the captain?
Unfortunately, it's Steve.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We're gonna clip these off. I love this.
At this point, I do agree with the Rockies though. I know last year that they won it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good pick going into this year.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I feel like the manager of the year usually is like from like looking in the past like winners and whatnot. It's usually like a team that like not a lot of expectations on, and then they exceed those expectations.
Yeah.
I think the Rockies have some pretty high expectations after what they did last year. Wouldn't you think, Chad?
I'm hoping so. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, you guys have a good team.
Yeah, you could also, John
White
Callaway.
Sox,
Yeah,
I think
John
it is
Callaway,
a lot of those
he
too.
signs David. He signs
Yeah.
David, and he brings in Ryan O'Rear, who's one of, if not the most talked about rookie in a while. Sam, you're right behind it.
He's going to be good.
Corey.
He's going to be good. Yes.
So, yeah, seeing how John manages the roster there too. So,
could also be somebody from the A's though. Man, I know first game didn't go that well, but
yeah,
we can talk about the game, right?
Yeah, we can talk about the game. I'm gonna pick Evan. Evan's gonna be the captain. Actually,
they still put up.
Yeah, I'll take Evan. Absolutely.
Yeah, they still put up 10 runs in the game. I mean, the offense was there against the Twins. I mean, that's a tough roster. You know, they don't have Paul and Alex, and they put up 10 runs the first game. I know it's only the first game, but they could pull off some wins and maybe end up 5-5 or something like that, and become show some progression.
What they
And
do?
Evan,
I think that's the
Evan,
key,
you guys
right?
have like,
Go ahead, Sam.
Evan, you guys have like 4 guys like for the entire weekend, right?
Yeah, we're running 4. So Paul played his one and only game, which shout out to him, home run last at bat, gonna have a kid this weekend. So that was huge for him for his retirement. He was in and out in about 40. Shout out Paul, 45
shout out
minutes.
to the Don.
There you go. Yeah, we'll see. Usually what the coach of the year, I guess, or it comes from our captain of the year comes from a quote unquote bottom feeder that makes a run.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens.
What about Chris Mutter? Never won. Consistent as they come.
Who are you talking about?
No.
Boring as they could be.
I had no idea.
What does I mean? What?
He's
He's
your
a great
captain?
captain.
I
Yeah.
had
Well,
no idea.
last year he had to manage the Edlow Will dynamic, which basically was who's going to hit fourth, which is a big decision. You're only as good as your fourth hitter. And ultimately what happened is they split evenly right down the
Dead
middle.
even. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So, hey. And also, like, every game he's got to decide who's going to play left field, you know? Who's going to bat leadoff this game?
That's tough. I would have an upset tummy if I was Chris deciding.
Yeah. What a tough decision. Who's going to bat behind 3 of the top 12 batters in the league? Cool.
Winning and avoiding conflict.
Hey, you know, we all laugh, but Gus Skibby traded Edlow Donnan, Spencer Bogad, Will Rath, and Corey McCarthy, all from his team to Chris's team. So if we really want to hate on somebody, we should hate on Gus, who's just, you know, Gus is just pure evil. We all, nobody here likes Gus. He just.
Yeah, I look right past his smile every time I see him.
Yeah, you can't trust that guy. I just tell you.
Well, there were a couple, I guess, preseason award watches. So I kind of want to get your guys' input here. Are you picking one of these 3 and who? If so, who? And if not, you want to do a write-in. So let's start with franchise of the year. The top 3 on watch are the Expos, the Marlins, and the Orioles. Who won it last year? The Orioles?
The Orioles, because they had the whole podcast thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, the O-Face podcast. I think that was the main thing.
The catalyst. All right. So, well, yeah. So you got the Expos, the Marlins, and the Orioles are the favorites to win it. You guys picking one of those teams, or are you going to pick a different team?
What's the criteria for winning franchise of the year?
The mood of the front office.
Pretty much. Tim's like, he gives out points at random. He's like, extra points to the Rockies for the waiver thing signed first.
What is this, Hogwarts?
Yeah,
It'll be like,
points are made. It's the whose line is it anyways? Everything's made.
Like, my mom said,
the points don't matter.
My mom said you helped carry something in today. That's 5 points.
Yeah, right. So I mean, who knows? I would say
it's
the Expos make sense because
it's kind of one of those awards that's just like, you know, it's who stands out, who's doing the extra stuff to like make the weekend better. Whether it's honestly like it can be as little stuff as like cleaning up trash at the end of the night. Like it seems like common sense, but a lot of people don't. So just stick around and do that. Who sticks around for the weekend and watches the other games and cheers people on? Like who has new jerseys, who does a podcast, who makes baseball cards. We made baseball cards one year with all of our stats on the back that everybody threw away. But like stuff like that, which just makes it fun. You know, it's who's got the most spirit. It's more of a spirit award. You know, if your team's gonna stick around and hang out and help out and just be fun, then you got a shot. So
yeah. One year the Brewers brought a keg, and that was, I think that sealed the deal
for everybody
from the get-go, from night one.
That's a great description of franchise of the year. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and the points really are fake. We don't sit there at the end of the weekend. We're like, all right, who got the most points? It's just
There's
like
not a point system.
Yeah, Brett will be like, I think I saw Chad shovel the Skibby's driveway last December, so he gets point. You know, just stuff like that.
All right, so yeah, those are you guys taking one of those 3? Who do you think is going to win this year?
I think it's kind of BS that the Twins have never even made it to a top 3. We're always there. We never get in fights. We're all cute.
You all
Yes,
hang out with
that's not
just
the one.
yourself. You got to hang out with more than just yourselves.
Come to Shantytown, then you'd be talking.
Yeah, come on over to Shanty time.
Hey,
Come
I'm
join
one
me
of
and
the.
Chad. Have
Hold
a
on.
brewski.
Yeah, play some beer darts.
Put a cheerleading outfit on
one of the
and
founding-
some pom poms, and
I'm a founding member of the tequila
That's
shouting
true.
game, so
That's true.
I get 5 points. For
All right.
Twins.
Automatic. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for that.
But the Twins have
It's the
jerseys
best-
and they're not even the
it's-
right color.
Hold on. We were all wearing matching jerseys.
They
on.
were. They should get a point
They
for
were-
that
they
because
were
this is the
matching,
first
so-
game ever that they've
Yeah.
ever
One color
matched.
minus one. color for them.
we actually called it out. Like we all looked at each other like, wait a second, we're all wearing the same shirt today.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm picking the Marlins. So
there you go.
I think I don't know. They bring a lot of fun. They did a I know it was a bet thing, but they did a TikTok last year.
Yeah. I'm glad they lost that. We would have looked so much worse trying to dance out there. My God.
Yeah.
And that game was Trent, you remember that game?
Yeah, that was a
Home run derby, right?
intense game. Yeah,
Second round of home run derby. I think one of the and then the camera was out, so we didn't get to there's no video of it, but that game was crazy. And
The Marlins are all good-looking dudes too, so that's fine.
yeah, they did a nice little TikTok in the Skippy's driveway and looked great.
Yeah. South Beach is always fun. So
yeah.
Trent, are you breaking out the crop top again this year?
yeah. If the game calls for it, I mean,
You let me know.
Maybe
I'll
not
be
Friday
there.
night, but late Saturday you can see it.
I think the A's have a chance as well if they roll a 4 all weekend.
Yeah.
I mean that's to me that earns that's like the commitment part of the franchise of the year award. They also have the best jerseys I think in the game. I don't know if that's just because it's the A's, but the green with the yellow, I think they got a shot as well.
their logo is one of my favorites still all
Yeah.
time.
It's great.
So
We'd like to win something.
Us first.
That's
Hey, you
fine.
have the X. You have the
When do you-
Xbox on
when do you
your
guys
schedule,
play?
don't you?
Hey, our game is the
We
last
played a
game.
It's the last
very,
game, isn't it?
very
Yeah.
last game. Yeah.
It's the I guess the introduction to the playoffs. So I'm sure we'll both be in the playoffs. So it'll just be a nice, easy, friendly game.
Hell yeah, Evan. Yeah, we'll rest all the starters. We'll rest all the dogs.
Yeah. We
That'd be
will
so-
need to borrow some players because we have 4. So we'll take 4 on your bench somewhere.
Good trade for the last game of the season.
Sweet. We need more in season trades.
We definitely do.
Has that happened?
Yeah.
In-season trades?
We did
Oh
one.
my
We did one on the Cardinals. Do you remember
Yeah.
this, Brett? We were on the Cardinals. I forget who did we trade. Andy,
Yeah, for
I
some
think
beer
for
or
a
something.
6-pack. We all got a beer and we drank it on the field.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did do that. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he buy the
Imagine-
6-pack? Who gave you the 6-pack?
That whoever we traded Andy to, probably the Expos.
Okay.
I think it was the Expos. There is a player that has played in 11 games in one season before. Does anyone know who that player is? That record will
Spencer.
never be broken. No, it's
Spencer
not.
Bogard.
It's not me. Nope. I can't expect any of you to actually know who this is, so I'll tell you. Taylor Howe played in 11 games. He subbed. This was before people had contracts where you could just call a sub and they could come play on your team. He played for 3 different teams that season. He played in 11 games as a sub.
Oh
That's
my-
awesome.
That's
There's your
weird.
fun fact.
Sweet. All right.
Jose Canseco out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Platinum hands. You've got your kind of 3 main vote getters here: Chris Metter, Brian Kenny, Cole Layton. You guys taking one of those 3, or you're taking somebody else? Paul won it last year, but he unfortunately will not be present anymore. You guys taking anybody else?
It's going to be Chris. It's going to be Chris.
It'll
I
be
mean,
Chris.
they get a ton of opportunities. They play left field for guys that pitch and they hit. They don't, maybe they don't strike out a ton of guys, but they hit it to left field. They just get a ton of opportunities, and usually their hands are pretty solid. There's no reason to pick against those 3.
Yeah.
Someone I really want to see get back in the Platinum Hands picture is my bro-in-law,
Yeah.
Peter White. But I can't remember
They
if he played a lot of left field last year or if he split time with
You guys kind of rotate it, right?
We rotated a little bit, but this will be the year that he plays 95% of left field.
Yeah, but that's still going to be so tough for him when you guys have 3 pitchers who can get, a lot of
Strikeouts.
per se and stuff. It's gonna be hard for him to get those chances. But I would love to see Pete back in the picture because he was kind of in that picture for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The
The
Platinum
Brewers, right?
Hands.
Yeah, with the Brewers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah. It'd be cool to see my bro
Yeah.
back in the
I would
picture.
have.
He's been working out like a maniac.
Has he?
Yeah,
So is
he's
Gus apparently.
he's dominating all the
Yeah.
people at
He ran-
Orange Fury.
Didn't he have he got second in like a 5K?
Yeah, I think he's
wow.
trying to run away from my sister. I don't know.
He's
but-
a monster.
Well,
Spending too much
who's
time
the
with
most-
Eli. Spending too much time.
I would have said Ty if Ty had been able to be there all season, and he could still have a great year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wonder, being short 3 games, how many less opportunities that's going to end up making it for him.
Who's the most underrated fielder in the league?
Steve Hayes.
No.
Yes.
You guys see
Yeah.
me on the mound? I mean, shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, Chad.
Big cat.
Just
Luke's
pounce
a
on
pretty
it.
good athlete. when he's-
I'd say
out.
Kevin Poley.
I was thinking, yeah.
I think it's like
He'll
you
get
pick
a
your
lot of love.
best right fielder or the top right fielder, because right field they get the gold or the gold hands or whatever, but they never get platinum hands because they just don't get the chances.
I
Is
don't know.
Caleb playing right field this year?
He is.
He's solid. He's a really good fielder.
He was really solid last year.
Yeah,
Chris is off
what's
to a hot
Caleb-
start.
What's the game plan for Caleb? Is he going to get some more bats this year, or
He's going to be our first bat off the bench. So if somebody
Okay.
struggles, just like we've done in the past, I'm not afraid to make a change.
Yeah.
But he's going to play full-time right field and then be our third pitcher if we can find innings for him. So
I know this player's the greatest player in the universe, and no, I'm not talking about myself, but Gus Skibby
yeah,
is
he's a good.
a hell of a fielder, and he never plays like one of the premier fielding positions, but he could easily be the best fielder. Like if he played left, he's got go-go gadget arms. He's very lanky and tall. He can move side to side. He's very accurate when he throws. I think he would be a platinum hands winner if he played left field all season.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Jackson wasn't a pitcher, I've seen him make some crazy plays on the field the last few years that he's been getting out in the field.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna say he's underrated because everybody knows he's just a good athlete, but he's a pretty good fielder out there as well.
Yeah, Luke makes some pretty crazy plays too. He every now and then he makes a few errors every year, so he kind of takes himself out of it.
He's a
but
head case sometimes.
But yeah, he is a head case. But
No, he's not.
yeah.
Are the
No.
Marlins falling apart right now?
I know.
You
They're
might see
right
Corey.
now.
You,
Trouble in
you
the
might see Corey Poley in the field a lot this year. He's trying to find a role. So
yeah.
he's a guy that was I think he played center field or something for the high school baseball team. So he
Yeah.
can run around a little bit.
Slap him back there in right field.
That's
Yeah.
that's the plan, I think. So
Okay.
he might make some plays this year.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody dive off the mound more than Luke. That guy just leaps off the mound.
And not catch it.
He likes to look. He likes trying to look good.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Cy Wiffle, Sam Skibby, Jackson Crosley, Chad Young. It's hard to have. Again, what's going to happen with the innings? It's going to make it. Do you think it's going to make it harder, like we were talking about earlier, right? For any of the 3 of you.
I would, yeah, you get less Ks, less, less
Innings
stats, numbers,
pitched,
not
yeah.
playing, all that stuff. It takes all that into account. So I feel like if you're looking at it now, I would say Chad is a front runner just because of what he did last year, and he's going to get a ton of innings. I mean, he strikes out a lot of people, so that's where I would kind of land, but I don't know.
I think
Chad.
Chad was super cool. It's always nice to see someone different come into that mix
Mm-hmm.
that maybe wasn't being talked about before, and then they end up winning it.
Mhm.
That's pretty sweet.
I also, and to butt into this, we'll go back to it, but I also love the All-Star game with
Doesn't-
Chad. That was one of the
That was
most
awesome.
fun nights.
That was awesome.
I think ever.
That's up there with the alumni game from what was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just
My 2 children's births, and then like that night. Pretty good. I don't know which pole he was throwing the ball to me, but man, that was awesome. That was a good night.
fun. I mean,
Who's
who else?
Yeah, well, okay. Who would be the front runner for a player who's not won it yet?
I think
think out
Will
everybody
Rath.
who's.
Yes,
Will Rath is due for a long time coming. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. He's super.
He's gotten
consistent.
second place 3 times.
Yeah, and he knows it. So I think he's hungry, right, Spencer? But I think he's due.
Mm-hmm.
He's so consistent with what he's got.
I agree. Olderman, you've always been around there too. You've probably been always on the cusp.
I'm on the bump.
I think you've just really needed a manager to believe in you, and I think this year will really make a difference.
I tell you what, I love playing for Brian. I'm gonna miss. Yeah, no lie. That's tough to leave. That was the worst part of leaving him and Jimmy, all the guys. Honestly, I love Cam and Cole too. They're so much fun off the field playing beer darts, but especially
what about
Jimmy
on the field?
On the field, they're great, man. I love the way Cole and Cam play. I think Cam, if he can stay cool, he is one of the best players in this league for sure.
I have a question for Olderman. White Sox logo or Astros logo? Which one do you like more?
White Sox for sure.
What?
Yeah, I mean, even
it's
the MLB
a sock.
Yeah, no, but look, even the MLB one is
sock.
so much cooler, and it's got the little wiffle ball for the O. It's perfect. Sorry, Benware.
So do we. There's an O in Astros.
You're not welcome to our tent this year, Dave.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna play beer darts though. Don't you worry.
all right. We'll just aim for his feet.
White Sox need some new franchise logo pictures. All of you, not one of you has a White Sox jersey on.
Are 2 of them Astros?
2 are Astros, a Royals, a Brewers. Maybe one of those is a White Sox, but
Borbeck doesn't even have a picture up. He's just been an
you guys do
elephant the
you.
whole time.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
I think I'm wearing my pink Melonheads jersey in mine. It's from Mowith.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it is. And they picked the only serious one. They should have done the one where I put my head inside my shirt and it looked like I had no head. They should have done that one. That'd have been a good one.
That would have been a good one. All right. MVP. You got Gus, Scott Poley, Sam Skibby.
First, Spencer Bogut.
Spencer Bogut.
Spencer came
Brian
in.
Benware. Brian Benware.
Thanks, Trent. Let's go.
Spencer came into that game the other day just going, me hungry. Wanted that MVP, dude.
That was impressive. That was
I did not know the streak. I did not know the streak on the mound. And I think I realized it the 4th time he came around. I'm like, he has hit everything way past the fence. And it continued.
You should have seen me and Brett over there. He was keeping the stats, and Brett and I just kept going 5 for 5, 5 home runs, 6 for 6, 6 home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to break his own record. Like he might get 11. Spencer, you did that once, right? Where you hit
he 10 for 10 with 10 home
start
runs.
the year with 10 home runs.
Yeah.
What happened that year? Did you win anything?
I think I won the MVP that year. But you know what? I'm one of those people that I take things other people say or do and I use it as motivation. So I know like a lot of people like to chirp at me or whatever. And there was a certain individual in the A's that in the off season did something, and I'm not going to name any names, but they said something, they did something a certain way that I remembered, and that's why yesterday I went off.
You got to say it. That's what makes the podcast good.
Not going to say it.
It was Josh Rogers. It's fine.
No. No, but in all seriousness, Sam Skibby's, if you look into the per at bat data from last season, he had the highest home run per at bat, highest RBI per at bat, and the highest slugging percentage out of any hitter in the league. His downfall was his offense wasn't as good as the Yankees, and Scott Poley had an amazing year. I'm not saying take anything away. What I am saying is that Sam, on a per at bat basis, was, you could argue, was the best hitter in the league last year. And I think his team this year is only better. So I would say that, to me, he is probably the front runner in my opinion, if you include his entire game, as being the most valuable player.
How many walks did he take?
Probably too many.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
Probably too
Spencer's.
many.
I think we
Yeah,
all
sounds like
Yeah, I
double
dropped the
digit
bar a
walks.
little there.
He had
Yeah.
like 12 to 13 walks, I thought, last year.
Yeah, I am one of those people.
That's
that,
impressive.
Yeah, Sam is one of those people. That's like, oh, I'll get on base for my teammate, and I'm like, no, I'm swinging out of the zone. I'm hitting the
You want a
ball.
slugger. You want a
My
guy
shoes
who's-
are gonna fall off.
I haven't been playing in this league away from my family to walk.
What's the correlation between MVP and winning the ship over time?
Ooh, that's a good
Typically-
question, Ev.
That is a good.
It's got to be pretty high, right? It's
Yeah.
because more runners are on base, more runs are scored, RBI totals fly, averages up.
Evan, I'll
Let's
tell
go
you
over
this
to our
much.
statistician, Chad
Well-
Young. Chad Young, what do you got on that?
Hit the ball out of the ballpark and get out. And get out.
There has never been an MVP that has had less than 50 at bats in their season. That has never happened. What that means is, in order to win the MVP in this league, you have to be on a team that also has other good hitters on it. Otherwise, you have no chance.
Yeah.
So, for
So
good or
that's
for
an
bad.
average
bad,
of 5 at bats a
Yeah,
game.
you need ABs.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
good or for
You also-
bad, you need to hit a lot of home runs, get a lot of RBIs. Average matters, but not as much. It's really
You
about
probably
home
need to
runs
be,
and RBIs.
and you probably need to be in the 1 or 2 hole for your lineup.
So, all jokes aside, there's probably 5 to 7 players a season that probably have a legit chance to win the MVP before games are even played. So that's why I think a lot of times you see a lot of the same people in that same discussion because, hey, if your team's winning, like, why would you leave? Like, I know Sam and Brett have bounced around as well, which is good for them. But, I think maybe for good or for bad, but I've looked back. I'm a big data guy, if you guys haven't noticed yet, but
Nerd.
that's why Sam didn't win the MVP last year. If he would have had 50 at bats, he had 43. If he would have had 50 at bats last year, he may have. That would have been a discussion to have. So
Yeah. And didn't he tie him in RBIs or something like that? Which is like one that
Spencer
How do you
and Scott.
not give that.
I thought Spencer and Scott tied on something.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. Sam. All I'm saying is, usually you can forecast on a per average basis on what someone would have done if they had 10 more bats. You can be like, okay, well, maybe they had 4 or 5 more. All I'm saying is he didn't have as many bats because of the things he took more walks, and the way that team works is there's a lot of free flowing. Try this, try that, bat here, bat here. We're gonna hit person. Whatever. So, anyways, if your offense is good, you got a good chance to win the MVP.
Makes sense.
Could be
All right.
somebody on the Rockies this year. All they do is play small ball, and Jason can drop bombs, and
Blake's
Blake,
always
yeah.
in the conversation.
Blake could drop bombs, and the way they hit the ball last year, and we'll be surprised to maybe see one of them make a run at it either.
Jason
Mhm.
Worsenholm's a person to watch this year. I'll say that much. He can hit.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a good lineup around him, too.
Mhm.
Vorbeck was dangerous, and that A's are batting 4. Vorbeck was great 2 years ago, and Luke and Jordan were both great 2 years ago. They're going to get a ton of
Yep.
ABs.
Yeah,
Like,
Jordan's another good like sleeper.
Evan, if Vorbeck doesn't show up one day, I know that's happened in the past. Who is your 4th player? Are you going to trade for Charlie, or are you going to ask Miss Gibby to play?
We're gonna have to pull from the crowd. That free agent rule might have to exist just for us. He has. So this is how serious Vorbeck has taken this. He moved his family vacation to the Dells at their house to this past weekend. So that way, Memorial Day weekend, he is in town. There's no pregnancy. There's one kid. We're gonna make sure that kid's healthy. We're on. If my wife has to go over with our daughter and babysit, make sure that everything's good to go at home. We're gonna have 4 guys.
Nice.
There you go.
Evan's
There
going to
you
be
go.
over there on Thursday giving the kid an IV and everything. Like, you're fine.
You're not going to daycare. We're keeping you in a bubble. All the kids on our team are going to be in bubbles.
Hey,
We're going to handle business.
that's spirit. That could be
awesome.
franchise of the year
Absolutely.
right
That's
Yeah.
right.
I was gonna say, Evan, you can trade for me for like an hour contract, and then it expires, and I go back to the Expos.
It can no, it has to be for the last game of the season though.
Ooh.
We might need you, Sam, for that.
Shit. No, I can't abandon the boys like that.
I hear you. We do. Hey, I did bring back some mezcal from our Guadalajara office, so there's going to be some good treats on the athletics
Yeah.
sideline this year. If we're not going to
Nice.
win, we're definitely going to drink some good tequila.
Fruit
Hell
salad,
yeah.
yummy, yummy.
All right.
You're
Anybody
welcome.
else
You're
that-
welcome in Shantytown. You're welcome with
Chad,
that.
You are.
Chad, the cicada question earlier, I don't know how far down the right field line I'm going to make it based on the sounds that were coming out of those trees on the game on Sunday. It's bad down there.
Oh, I've got
over
Oh.
over under like 12 wives are gonna be there this weekend because my wife said no way. So
Over under on how many times Blake is getting ready to put his batting gloves on and there's a bug and he is hitting it away.
We should have
There's going to be at least 1 or 2 outs this year where Blake swings and he gets out, but he said like there was a bug in his face. He'll come back,
Yeah.
bug on the bat, like something's going to happen. 100% gonna
Do you think Blake's gonna wear like noise canceling like lawn care headphones?
No, he's gonna wear a beekeeper suit.
Mhm.
He bought something on Amazon. I'm not going to say what it is yet. He wants to show up in it. So
That's
perfect.
Ooh. Beekeeper
Perfect.
suit it is.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, anybody else you guys want to mention for MVP that could get it besides those 3 and Spencer? We all picked
Worshenholm.
Spencer.
I think Jason
yeah.
has a chance. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Did anybody throw Corey McCarthy out there?
Yeah,
Nope.
C-Mac for sure.
I could maybe if he
Yep.
got back in the picture again. He was hitting the absolute crud out of the ball.
cicadas or not, Blake has a shot.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Blake's always in the conversation.
Cool. All right, let's get to some predictions. All right, which player has their best season?
David.
I love that answer.
Appreciate
Paul
that.
Castellano.
And I can lob.
Sam, Sam's
Yeah,
gonna have
Ike
more
Lob.
ABs, more pitching. Yep.
I mean, same thing with Evan. He's getting way more ABs and he's getting more used to it. I feel like guys, their
Mhm.
first year in the league, they just have more issues as
Yep.
they get more ABs, start to learn things.
Learn the pitchers.
Yeah, learn the pitchers.
And Evan had a great year last year, your first year batting.
Yeah. So
I think Tony Cochran's going to have his best season ever this year.
Ryan O'Rear.
Ryan O'Rear's going to have a great season. Sam Eichenlob's going to have his best career year.
Mhm.
You're going to have a better year this year than you did last year. That's for sure.
Fingers crossed, brother.
How about
You know what's
man,
insane? You did
Yeah,
my
brother.
entire output last season in the first game.
Hey, sometimes that happens.
How about Josh Anthony?
I was just about to say,
Ooh.
yeah, he didn't get many at bats last year either. I think he only had 25, 20, something like that.
yeah.
I think there's
He did
plans to
well.
get him a lot more looks this season. I think Eli might take on more of his John Light role. You know, if you will.
Ooh.
Well, I'm throwing one out
Trump.
there. I think Brian Benware has his best year ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Benware, what would be a good season for you? Like for yourself personally, not team, not Astros. You
I
personally.
don't know, man. That's hard. It's been so long since I thought about anything with myself that I don't even know numbers wise. I'd say like a high 500 average. I've hit 550 before. I don't know about home runs. I don't know. I've never thought about it.
500 is kind of hitting like 300, and not everyone in the there's only it's like the top 20% hit over 500, so that's pretty good. I think if you hit 500, it's pretty good. 500, like 12 to 15 bombs. That's
I'm gonna be in the 4-hole too, at least to start, and so that's gonna be more limited at bats too. So we'll see.
I want to see you in right field again, Benware. I remember that play you attempted to make a couple of years back. I mean, that was
Yeah, I broke a rib on that play,
Yeah.
and still
I mean,
hit a
that was-
bomb afterward.
yeah, that was legendary.
Yeah, can't jump as high
I
as I
think-
thought I could.
I think Jackson Crosley has a great year
Yeah, I do
because
too.
he doesn't have the pressure of being on a losing team. He's going to be on a winning team.
He's got a lot of backup.
Can you elaborate on that, Spencer?
Yeah. Sounds like there's more to say.
Yeah.
No, I was just winking. I was winking at Olderman the whole time. And,
Oh, jeez. It's only been 10 years. You're still getting the last name wrong. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I would also think that
I play hockey. I play hockey with 3 brothers that their last name's Oberman, so that's why that was in my mouth. So
Gotcha.
Hey,
I'm
you
sorry.
come out of your closet there? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the den. This is the basement closet. It's all wood panel. The rest of the house does not look like this, but
I thought you were in a
There's
sauna
a
screen.
Yeah.
or something.
It looks like if you went to like a fishing resort, that's like the bathroom.
It's Bemidji.
it's
He's
yeah, I'm
been
in
in this-
Minnesota. It's very fitting for sure.
Are you
He's
kidding
been in
right
this-
now?
Yeah.
I'm blinking.
Give me a
He's-
proof of
he's
life.
been
I
in-
need to
he's
see the
been in-
newspaper from today.
That's
Been in the
right.
sauna. He's been in the sauna for an hour.
Yeah. All right. Who has their worst season? I'm going to say Brian Benware.
No, you can't say that.
All right. Who has their
You're
just for
saying
fun?
the
Who has their worst season?
I think it's someone from the O's because they're not going to be the main guy anymore. They're going to be thinking about it maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone
I
like
agree.
Jackson or something like that.
when you say like
Yeah.
their worst,
Yeah.
does that just mean that their worst, like their worst season? So like my seasons are,
Yeah.
are you comparing to like the franchise era, the last 20 years of playing.
I don't know, man. I
No,
didn't go
like
that
like
deep.
comparable.
You're a founder.
comparable
You've
to
got a
now.
lot of data on you, so
That's what
it's going
I'm
to be
saying.
pretty hard
It's
for
going to
you
be
to
hard for me to be my worst season.
franchise era. Let's go franchise era. Fine.
Yeah.
I think Luke Bacula's gonna have his worst season.
I know he hasn't been super focused. I mean, he's been surfing and golfing, but he can turn it on and just give him a couple at bats, and then something clicks for him.
I'll say Sam Eichenlob.
Yeah, right.
I just think he cares too much. Sometimes that that pressure gets him. You grip that bat a little too tight. Start pressing himself a little more. From what I've heard, we'll see.
Mhm.
Well, the
Like
neighbor
John-
kids. No, the
Go ahead,
neighbor kids are too cool now. They don't even want to like take BP with me over here. So I got nobody to practice with. So yeah,
That's
Kevin
a tough
Wheatucker.
question. I never
Another
want anybody
tough
to have their
season.
worst season.
I know you don't want to, but it's fun to
Yeah.
talk about.
I know.
All right. Which team? Oh, here's another fun one. Which team finishes in last place?
Yankees.
White Sox.
A's.
Ooh,
A's. No one wants to
Love-
be the bottom. No one wants to say who's going to be on the bottom.
No,
I
you
love
can
you,
say it.
Evan,
Evan and I are here. We can take it.
This is a support
gonna-
group. I think it's
That's
Expos. Sorry, Sam.
That's all right, baby. Motivation. I'll say the A's.
I'll say
Motivation.
the Marlins.
Motivation for you.
No, nothing to do with anything that's ever happened in the past, but I'll say Marlins.
All right. All right. We're going to play not really a game. So I'm going to give each one of you a team, and you have to make a case for that team to win the championship. Okay?
Whoa.
All right. So, and it's going to be sort of random. So, Spencer, the Marlins.
The Marlins, what?
Make a case for them
Win
to
it
win the
all, baby.
championship.
To win the championship?
Yeah.
Well, you see, the Marlins are very talented. They have a lot of depth. Anthony on the bump last year was very impressive. He was one of those pitchers like me that would kind of go above the speed limit and then come back down the speed limit. But I think he's smart enough to really understand how to pitch the batters. You have Luke Bacula, an amazing athlete, played Kansas collegiate baseball. He can hit. Those glasses that he wears really strike fear in his enemy's eyes. And then you have a guy like Jordan, who was the 2-time MVP of the Mo Whiff League who could really carry the offense for that team. So they have a very, very reasonable schedule this year. So I see them as a team that gets the 5th seed and then makes some noise in the playoffs.
All right. David, the Twins.
I think the Twins could win if Will has his best year ever, if Spencer can be a good secondary pitcher to him, and if Chris Spencer just does what he does in left field. I also think that they're in the toughest division, probably in a long time, to be honest. And if they can squeeze out their division winner, they're going to be able to set themselves up pretty well.
Perfect. Let's go with Sam, the Yankees.
I have to make a case for the Yankees
Yankees,
winning
yeah.
the championship,
Yeah.
beating the Orioles like they did in last year. No, I mean, they're good line. They're a great lineup. They're good pitchers. I think it's just making sure they kind of take advantage of the breaks they get in the playoffs and win. I mean, there's not much of a case there to say. I think it'd be a better question for them, like, not to make the playoffs or at least the semifinals or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be there. They're a top 2, probably top 3 team in the league easily, like consensus. So,
Yep. It's pretty easy. All right. So, let's go with Trent, the A's.
A's. Yeah, I think it comes down to I mean, if Vorback can come out and hit 800, I mean, that would help. Obviously Evan's gonna have to really, pitch well and get some Ks. And I mean, there's a long path ahead for them, but
All right, we're good. We're good.
if nobody else shows up, that's the simple answer.
If they get some Ks.
All right. Let's go with Brett and the White Sox.
All right. So I will say the addition of David makes them formidable. Like, he's a ace type pitcher. So he has to have a really good year. I think he's going to get more ABs. I feel like Ryan O'Rear is a missing piece for them, because I feel like John Callaway is consistent. Like, what he's going to do. He's usually pretty good, right? And I think then Ty being there 7 out of the 10 games gives them a shot to, like he said, I think they're in the toughest division with the Astros and the Twins. So getting by and sneaking in the playoffs, I don't see any reason they shouldn't have David to pitch through the playoffs. I don't know what Tyler Omlid brings, but I feel like those 4 there kind of would carry everything. So you have a top tier pitcher, and if you're out at the right time, getting in the playoffs, I don't see any reason they couldn't win.
Perfect. All right, Jimmy. Let's go with let's go with Brett's team, the Orioles.
Oreos. I love Oreos. They're so good.
What I thought you said.
I mean, yeah, I think the writing's on the wall with them. Picking up Jackson. They have 3 dominant pitchers and 4 guys that can just hit the crap out of the ball. Actually, I'll say this. They have 3 dominant pitchers and a sneaky pitcher in Pete. I think Pete is sneaky good on the mound sometimes when he gets called up. But I mean, yeah, they've been there back-to-back years, won it last year. They're going to be a dominant force unless, like, some team chemistry just breaks down. Like, if Sam and Brett just get into, like, a big argument or something.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
We're all divas. We're all divas on the O's. So
yeah,
It's like the last Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they're all just good.
Yeah.
They're all good. They have a great chance at being there again.
All right, Chad. The Expos.
Oh, easy. You got a knuckleballer in your team. You got a good shot. No, I mean, team is Evan really broke out again last year with hitting. They got that big dude. What's his name? Worrell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's got professional blood in him. I mean, he's got a hell of a shot to win it. And they've won one before. And then, of course, I mean, Sam, you're gonna take them to the promised land this year. I can see it. It's maybe 8-2, maybe 8-2. I could see. So you guys got a good shot. That's my case. That's all I got.
Hell
All
yeah,
right.
Chad.
All right. That leaves Evan, and let's give you the Astros.
Last but least, case for them winning.
Benware plays every game.
We're talking about winning the championship. But let's talk about leaders from last year. I mean, you got to deal with Cam Smith, right? Whether it's on the mound or hitting. So I think if he has another good year, I think they're going to be solid. Cole, if he wasn't the leader in average, he had to been up there. I think mid 600s. And then you lose an arm, but you gain some new guys on the mound that they're going to have to replace. And I think they're going to be solid. I definitely think they make the playoffs. And let's just see if they can build off of going 6-4 and sneak in there.
All right. Evan, that doesn't make you last. There's still one team left, and I'll take them, and that's the Rockies. And yeah, man, if they just keep doing what they did last year and they keep improving on that, I mean, Chad was amazing. So as long as Chad isn't 2 years ago, Chad, and he's last year's Chad. Yeah, that's okay. You were figuring out the gun then.
The gun was new then.
Yeah. No, and then you got Blake, you got BK. That's always going to be a solid core there. Jason's going to be really good, I think, as well. And then Adam this is Adam's third year now, so he's going to have more experience to be able to be there and help that team out. And then we'll see what new guy does. What's his name again? Shoot.
Tony Cochran.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah, their offense got better adding him.
Yeah. So I expect Chad to get all 30 innings. And then Jason looks like will be the number 2. So I think again they could fight for a division for sure. And then but if not, a wild card seems pretty promising, and then anything can happen then. So that's my case for them. So any final thoughts, guys, before I get to the sponsors? Any last things you want to mention before we wrap it up?
If you could play on any other team, what team would it be? Ooh. Not the current team you play on. If you could play on
Great question.
What team would it be?
White Sox.
We'll take you.
I would take the Twins.
Let's go, Chad. I'm taking the Rockies just because of that.
Ooh, trade them straight up.
Who would you trade for me, Chad? Who would you trade from your team?
But you have to trade Chad. Chad would go to the Twins.
Oh, wow.
You would go.
All five of us would need to come over.
Well, no, if Chad's come to the
Chad's
Twins,
answer is yes.
I'm staying on the Twins if Chad comes to the Twins. That'd be great. I wouldn't have to pitch anymore. I secretly don't like pitching, so if Chad came, I wouldn't have to pitch anymore. That'd be great.
Where's Trent going?
Go to the Yankees. Gotta be 6'4" to ride.
Oh, you know what? That's such a perfect answer for you. That is such a perfect answer.
All lanky.
They already have one pale guy on their team. They don't need 2.
I got pretty, good complexion, I feel like.
I don't think I have a single team I want to play for, but I do in the future. I've talked to like Sam and people about this. I want to get traded to each team throughout one season and play one game with each team. I think
That would be awesome.
I think that'd be a crazy awesome stat in the league to have one guy play on each team, even if it's just like Matt or one in the field. And I want to get like everybody's jersey from that year.
The Vagabond
Jimmy.
Award.
Jimmy, is that your way of asking Benware for a trade?
No.
Look at Brian. Just so sad.
I said in the future. I didn't say this year.
Well, the future's tomorrow. So
That's true.
the future is now.
But I only say that because I've made so many friends with like everybody on each team, I feel like, throughout the years. It'd just be cool just to like bounce around. I just think it'd be awesome.
This is Jimmy's exit from the Astros. This is Jimmy's exit
This
from the
is
Astros.
it.
Look at this.
Yeah,
It's happening in
podcast,
live time.
this was a terrible idea.
Brett, have you answered? You've been on a couple
Jimmy?
teams.
I haven't. No. Who else hasn't answered? I'll go last.
I'll go Expos. Give
Who?
Jimmy a second arm. Expos.
All right.
Give Jimmy a second arm.
I mean, I've played.
All
for the-
right, David, I'm putting your
I was
name
gonna
on the
say
list
that
right
sounds
here.
like a shot. That sounds like a shot at
Put your
Sam.
name on the list right here. You made it.
Signed a 3-year deal. We'll see if it stands.
Yeah.
I don't know if contracts mean much anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Sam, did you answer yet?
Did I answer?
Yeah.
No, I did not. That's a good question. And I asked it myself. I probably should have had an answer. Marlins. I like the
There
guys
you
on the
go.
Marlins.
Yeah, we'd have a good
Brett?
time.
And I played for the Expos, played for the Rockies already, and now the O's. So, I mean, I've always wanted to play with Metter. Like we've become pretty good friends. So I would
Yes.
into the
Yes.
or the Astros. I feel like that'd be fun.
Come to the dark side, Brett. Come
Mhm.
on over. Come on. Come on.
I don't know.
Ed-
I feel like I can't play for the Twins. You guys have like a long standing relationship. Like
Edlo
Okay.
said Edlo said he might be retiring after the season, so we may have an open spot.
It says that every year.
That's every year.
Breaking
yeah.
news.
He does say that every year, but I think he's being serious this time.
Okay.
he said something about his wife's, or like they have something with Memorial
Yeah,
Day.
his
Yep.
wife's
Yeah.
family they have a family thing every year, so he has to try to balance both. And
But he knew us before her, so we have priority.
Yeah.
We have seniority there.
Benware. What about you?
man, I don't know.
He's thought of this. He's dreamt of this.
Sounds like
He's
he's
He absolutely has.
Sounds like
He's
he's
dreamt of leaving the Astros.
Yeah. If you turn his camera around, it's nothing but athletic stuff. You know it
He's-
is.
Benware's like, man, I'd love to manage the Yankees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
be a
love to
dream
manage
mind
the
just to go
Yankees.
coach that
just
team.
get hammered, sit on
Yeah.
the sideline.
I literally
His
just
name
show
on a
up in my
trophy.
Depends and just
Yeah.
try to manage
Yeah.
his team.
I don't know. It's easy to say the O's, but it's not because they're great, but my first year in the league was with Brett and Sam, and I think doing that again would have been fun because that was an underwhelming team.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I don't know, man. I like so many people in this league. Let's go with
You made hold on a second before you answer.
yeah.
You made your mind up 30 seconds ago, and you're just trying to be nice about it. You're like, let me think about it. I don't know. Everybody's so nice.
Yeah. He almost answered it
Expos,
right when I
bam.
asked it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
we can see through your lies.
We're gonna
No,
have to
I
have
just-
a team meeting before this weekend, Brian.
All right. We could be done.
No, say your answer.
Yeah, I think I would actually like to play with the Twins as well because I like to play. I like
I
like,
go.
Chris and I have gotten to know each other really well, and you and me, Spencer, have played together on a summer league team, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, all right,
would be
that's
great.
gonna do it, boys. Thanks for joining. This was a ton of fun. And maybe, just maybe, we'll do a post season 1, same crew, and do this again. So that's gonna do it, guys. This is the last podcast before the season. So let's rattle off all of our sponsors and our partners. 1356 Public House, again, the presenting sponsor for season 22. Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, Ketty Nice Center, Corner Pub and Grill, our division sponsors. We've got Spencer Gear. Sorry, Brett. Spencer Gear, Chill Designs, Breck-X, Everdolce Vita, Four Hands, Brewery, Sway Dispensary, Logix, Johnny Pop's, Ballast Dental Care, and Andy's Frozen Custard. And yeah, guys, we'll see you at the Blur, season 22.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks,
See you,
Brian.
boys. Love you.
Brian.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see you, boys.
Hey.